Welcome back to our Gardenscape, everybody. We're going to start this video off where we left off on the last one. I forgot to show you an update on the little Lime Punch Hydrangea that we ordered last year that got absolutely crushed during shipment. For those of you who don't know, we ordered this plant from Proven Winners last season, and before we even opened the box, we could tell it was crushed. No worries though, we contacted Proven Winners and they shipped out another one ASAP. They encouraged us to still toss the damaged plant in the ground. Well, our concern was it arrived in the middle of the height of the heat of the summer, and we were already fighting fungus on our limelight primes. I didn't want to put another stressed out plant right in the middle of our flower bed and risk spreading fungus even further throughout the garden. But you know what? Every plant deserves a good home. So like we all have to do in gardening, sometimes we improvised. Like Jenny from Creekside says, there's grace in gardening. There was a little corner of our backyard that you could see from the kitchen window that was just bare. We were already planning on developing our Gardenscape in the backyard this season, so we decided to start the process early and put both little lime punches in the space. The damaged plant bounced back before the end of the season, and both plants have thrived in the area. This is just a small fraction of the plans that we have to develop our backyard, but you'll see a lot more of that later this season. Now, back to this little conundrum. The damage has left a very odd-shaping plant. I'd like to get her shaped up really nice, but the buds aren't as prominent as some of the others around the house. They're probably not as far along because they don't have the benefit of the heat coming off of the house. Since I don't have the benefit of the buds to guide me, I'm just doing a quick cleanup job on her, and I'll come back to her a little further into the spring. We're just happy to have her still with us. As always, I'm doing my daily garden walk, just checking in on everyone to see how they're progressing. As you can see, our stained glass hostas are poking up and starting to say hi. Our tater tot evergreens shown here really gave me a scare over the winter. As green as they are currently, they were equally as brown during the winter. For whatever reason, we get really strong wind gusts in our neighborhood, and the cold winds definitely affected them. Now, here we have my biggest concern going into the season. Flanking both sides of our front porch, we have these Graham Blandy boxwoods. On top of some winter damage, we also have been fighting what seems to be powdery mildew. They are not bouncing back as quickly as the arborvitae have. They still seem to be alive, and the damage seems to only be on the outside. But if they're not happy in this space, we may have to find a new home for them around the house. It's not shedding leaves, so I don't believe it's blight, but we'll continue to keep an eye on them as the season progresses. After a quick spin around the garden, it was time to head to our local big box store to see what they were beginning to stock. Most of the shelves were still pretty bare, but we did get the opportunity to see some of the fruit trees that they had out, and they had a pretty good selection of pansies and hellebores in stock. The fruit trees were especially fun for my daughter as she's beginning to learn about her fruits and vegetables. We'll continue to stop in at our local big box stores and other local nurseries weekly to see what they have that we would like to add to our garden. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one.